Alright, man, so in this video we gonna talk about what are the whales buying and selling. So we talk about whales, we talking about those big investors like Warren Buffett, we talking about Nelson Peltz, we talking about Bill Ackman, we talking about Guy Spier, these big investors, super investors, Leon Cooperman, right? So we're gonna go inside of their portfolios and we're gonna talk about some of the things that they buying and some of the things that they are selling, so you can just get an idea how they moving money around. Also, I'm gonna give you the percentages of what it is in their portfolio and what it is that they moving. But before we get into that, man, I want you to like and subscribe to this. We are putting out a bunch of dope content to help you on this journey so you can identify what's going on and some of the things that these people are doing in the game so you can be more familiar with the market. All right, first on our list is Nelson Peltz. Now, the reason why I use him, because you may know him, you may have heard of him. We talked about him a while back. He was in a big old proxy fight with Disney trying to get on their board. So as of right now, he has Triad Fund Management. Nelson has $7 billion portfolio. $7 billion portfolio. Now with Triad Management, they have 9 stocks in it. One of the things I like to tell y'all all the time is you don't need a lot of stock. I'd rather you have less stocks in big positions than a lot of stocks in small positions, right? So let's get into it. So Nelson Peltz, right? He sold 1.6% of his Disney portfolio. Now Disney makes up 41% of his portfolio, right? He has 32 million shares of Disney. He decreased that by 41 cents. His average reported price was $90. His Disney stake is worth $2.9 billion. $2.9 billion. That's right. So he sold 1.6% of that. Another one is Ferguson PLC. He sold 22% of that. That makes up 11% of his portfolio. His average price was $193. And it makes up $809 million worth of his portfolio. Another one that he sold was Wendy's, ticker symbol WEN. Wendy's makes up 8% of his portfolio. He sold 5% of it down, and he has 31 million shares of Wendy's. Average price is $19. He has a value of $612 million. Another thing he sold was 23% of Allstate. Now, Allstate makes up 23%. Allstate makes up 5% of his portfolio, selling 23% of it. He has right now 2 million shares, 2.7 million. His average price was $139. Still has $390 million worth of value there. Now, what he did add was he added 0.01% of General Electric, which now has 4 million shares. Average price $127. Not bad, because we know it's now $150 something, so that's sweet. He has $514 million, which is great. Then he bought some of GE Healthcare, about the same. So he just bought some of both of them. I wouldn't be surprised when the new 13Fs come out, which is the fund, which is the reporting that tells us what they buying, sold, and doing. I wouldn't be surprised if he bought some of that new GE company, that IPO. I wouldn't be surprised at that. So that's it, man. He sold Disney, he sold Ferguson, he sold some Wendy's, he sold some Allstate, and then he bought some General Electric. So definitely, looking at Nelson Peltz, that's what he did. I'm definitely waiting to see when this new statement comes out so we can see what he done with, since he didn't win the proxy battle with Disney. He did come out and say, hopefully Disney does the right thing, and if not, he'll be back at the board again for another one. So let's dig a little deeper, right? So now we're going to go to my guy. We're going to go to Bill Ackman. All right, so next on the list, man, we're going to go with one of my favorites, Bill Ackman with Pershing Square Capital Management. Of course, we know Bill Ackman is one of those ones, man. He took a big L with the Herbalife deal a while back. He came back and made a lot more money. 2020 turned 2 point something, was it 20 million? Turned 20 million into 2 point something billion. So that was insane during the pandemic. Let's see what he bought, man. Let's see what he sold. Oh, so he has 8 stocks in his portfolio. The portfolio is worth about $10 billion right now. right? My man, he sold 13% of Chipotle. No, Bill, no. How could you? Right, so Bill sold 13% of Chipotle. He has 824,000 shares. It makes up 18% of his portfolio, so he probably just took some profits. But his average price was 2,200. Yep, because we had 3,000 now, close to 3,000. So yep, I see what he did there. The value is $1.8 billion. His app, ooh, he killed that. Another thing he sold was Hilton Worldwide. He sold 10% of Hilton Worldwide. It makes up 16% of his portfolio. He has 9 million shares. 9 million shares. His average price is $182. It is now worth $1.6 billion. And lastly, ooh, he almost out of this position here. He sold 82% of Lowe's. Lowe's makes up 2% of his portfolio, so he probably exited that position completely. He's going to exit it completely with 82% sold. He has 1,245,000,000 shares, worth $277 million. Yeah, he's going to get up out of there. But then he added 12% of Howard Hughes Holdings. It makes up 15% of his portfolio. He has 18 million shares. Average price was $85. Portfolio value of $1.6 billion. And that's my guy, Bill Ackman. So we know we rock with Bill. And then lastly, we're going to go check out the GOAT, man. You know we're going to go check out the GOAT, the OG of OGs, Warren Buffett. Now, of course, we know we're looking at Berkshire. Berkshire is a huge conglomerate. The fund value is $347 billion. Just the fund value itself is $347 billion. Buffett has 41 stocks in his portfolio. So we know right now out the gate, Apple is his biggest position, making up a little more than 50%. He sold 1% of Apple shares. He sold 1% of Apple shares. He has 905 million shares of Apple. This is just insane. 905 million shares of Apple. It's worth 174 billion. Looking at all these commas is crazy. It's worth $174 billion. Next, he sold 32% of Paramount Global, which is 0.27%. So it's not even a full percent. That's just 1/4% of his portfolio. He has 63 million shares, right, worth $936 million, right? And then his next selling was HPQ. HPQ, he sold 77%. So anytime you see him sell something like this, 77%, 32%, they probably going to be trying to get out of those positions. So he sold 77% of this. He has 22 million shares left. He's worth $687 million. All right. Now, his big add-ons was Sirius XM. He added 315% to his portfolio of this. He has 40 million shares. Average price is $5.07. It's worth $220 million in his portfolio. I wonder what he see right there. Right? But then he added another 8% to his portfolio of Oxy Petroleum. Right? He added 8.7%. He has 243 million shares. Average price $59, worth $14 billion, $14,552,271. Now this position of all positions always intrigues me because he's been in this position over the last couple years, like during the pandemic is when he started buying this company. And to see it now in his top 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his top 6 positions, right? It's 4.9%. Its top 6 positions is what is it? This is, and I looked at this company. I've been trying to break it down, and I just don't see it. But because he the GOAT, you're not gonna always see what he see. You know what I'm saying? That's why he the GOAT, right? But I know it has been performing extremely well for him. But let's go, man. In his top position that he added, well, one of his top was Chevron. I'm not mad at that. Chevron, CVX, Chevron, he added 14%, 14.37%. Chevron is in his top 5. 1, 2, 3, it's his top 5. He has 126 million shares of this company. Average price is $149. The value of it is $18 billion. Now, just in case you don't know, his number 4 position is Coca-Cola. It makes up 6.79% of his portfolio with 400 million shares. He even had Coca-Cola since like 1990 something. The average price is $58. His next top position is American Express. I understand that. That company has such an amazing moat on the way it's built, the way it's structured. It makes up 8% of his portfolio, in case you didn't know that. He has 151 million shares. Average price $187, worth $28 billion. And his second largest position that makes up 10% of his portfolio is Bank of America. He has 1 billion. Dang, Buffett? He has 1 billion shares of Bank of America? Wow. 1 billion shares of Bank of America, yo. And when he's over that 10%, that makes him like one of the largest owners of this company, right? This is insane. 1,032,856,006 shares. I'm gonna say it again. 1,032,852,006 shares. As is worth $34 billion. His average price is $33. And then, you know, he got the big dog, Apple, worth $174 billion. So that's the big three. One of the things I always look at, the big three, their largest positions. Their top 5 positions is always their largest positions, where they got the most money at. And I always tell us to do the same thing. Like when you constructing your portfolio, even if you have 10 companies, your top 5 positions is which should hold you down, is what you believe in. As you can see, Buffett has 50% of his portfolio in Apple, and then his next largest position is Bank of America at 10%, American Express at 8%, Coca-Cola at 6%, Chevron at 5%, Oxy at 4%, Kraft Heinz at 3%, Moody's at 2%, DaVita Healthcare at 1%, Citigroup at almost 1%. And I remember him saying he should have got rid of Kraft Heinz in 2014. So I don't understand why he still owns so much of that company. Anyway, man, tell us in the chat if you like this type of content. We also want to tell you, you know, how the big dogs move and what they're doing when it comes to these super investors, so you can get an idea of what's going on in the game, man. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you get with us each and every Tuesday on the Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Network YouTube. It's our live show. Trapping Tuesdays come on each and every Tuesday. You live updated information. We give you an insight at our portfolio, some motivation, some inspiration, some instructions on how you can dominate the game. All right, man. Make sure you also subscribe to all podcast platforms, because that's where it's at. Make sure you download that. And also, man, that's not me in the chat on none of my videos talking to you about Bitcoin or telling you to WhatsApp me or nothing like that. It's not me. I don't got no type of investment opportunity where you need to talk to, I got a coach or nothing you need to talk to. That ain't me, man. And don't send nobody no money. All of mine going through my accredited account, right? If you're on Instagram looking for me, I got 1.4 million followers. And if you're looking for the Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Network on Instagram, we got about 26,000 followers. This is the only page I have, Wall Street Trapper. And then I got the Wall Street Looks Like Us Now Network. Listen, don't follow nobody. Pay close attention, because the scam is getting real. Somebody took one of my ads and used it as a scam. So just make sure y'all really tapping in, man. It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. I love y'all. I'm out.